So I've come to a short section of the Ice-Age Trail where they're trying to reroute it. And in typical like Wisconsinian being nice fashion, the old trail is just over to my left, and they don't say, you know, don't hike there. But there's some little flags that show you that they want the trail rerouted this direction. And if I had guessed, trail crews are still laying this one out. But I'm going to go ahead and hike it, since I think this is where they intend for you to hike. But I've just never seen a trail marked with little yellow flags every 10 feet. I kind of like that. It makes me think of back when in that book that I'm reading about the initial creation of the Appalachian Trail, the initial trail crews, the kind that were led by Marion Avery especially, would go out and tie ribbons and sometimes string. Actually, the first part of the job would be to go out and tie ribbons on trees, suggesting where they wanted the trail to go. And then the second crew would come along and tie strings and just clear basic branches out of the way and things like that. And then the third crew would come through and do different kinds of improvements, like gutters to run water off, or switchbacks, or various kinds of things like that. Also building the shelters and things like that. And obviously those work activities took place over a period of years in many cases. But it reminds me that when I hike the Ice-Age Trail, it really is like hiking the Appalachian Trail, probably in the 1940s or 50s, in that there aren't very many people out here. The trail is better blazed than the Appalachian Trail was, but there are a lot of road walks like they used to be on the AT, and the trail is in constant formation as they acquire new land rights or new pieces of land, and then they get volunteers to go out in teams as trail builders, just like they did on the AT 50 or 60 years ago. And literally, our fellow citizens get out and lay trail. So, anyway, one of those fun parts of hiking the Ice-Age Trail that I enjoy, and one of those real differences between hiking the Ice-Age Trail, which is a trail still in formation, and hiking the Appalachian Trail, which is a really well laid out and completely established trail with many trail improvements all along it. So I think that's part of how I settled on. It is part of how I settled on, I think, hiking the Ice-Age Trail and the Appalachian Trail intermittently as multi-year through hikes together. Partly, obviously, because the Ice-Age Trail is closer to my house and helps me stay in better shape, but also they are very different trails. Different kind of terrain, different reason for existing, different thought process as to how to create them and why. And also, they're just at different stages of their lives as trails. You can see where the trail crews have been hard at work. There's been a fair amount of that along here, along with some trail rerouting around erosion areas. I think I showed you a little bit of that. I actually came across 3 of those trail reroutings with the little yellow flags. So it was kind of fun to be a part of helping work in a newly blazed trail.